Our good friends over at Anheuser-Busch have been kind of quiet recently. Okay, on Friday, you guys remember they offered that, what, I would say that it was an apology, but it wasn't really. It was more or less, we're so highbrow and you plebs don't quite understand this. Just shut up and drink our beer because it's America's beer. And then the official Bud Light account tweeted out TGIF? Question mark? Thank God it's... All right, we aren't on Rumble yet. You could imagine what the F stands for, and I'm sure there's a lot of people because, take a look at this, okay? So check this ratio. Not quite as bad as the official apology or the addressment statement, okay? But pretty bad in and of itself, okay? And this is live to tape. Well, I can at least show you some of the responses, but 10.8 million views. Whole lot of quote tweets, and then the first one that comes up, it's Miller time. And that one right there, 583 tweets. GTH, go to hell. Fantastic. Stop promoting transgender ideology from Stephen Miller. If I go any lower than that, we might be seeing some not safe for YouTube content. Well, even not really safe for the internet, except for Twitter. Twitter's a wonderful place. I just want to see, okay, like what is, because we got Anheuser-Busch right here. What's the ratio on the our responsibility to America pledge? 22,000. That's pretty bad. That is pretty fantastically bad, but I mean, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? Okay. And yeah, so what is the backlash been so far to the announcement of an apology that wasn't really an apology? How are they doing right now? Well, still haven't rescinded the endorsement deal with Dylan Mulvaney. Not saying anybody should be canceled. It's just, hey man, normally if there was any type of backlash, if anybody that is center right, or even just a little bit right, they would be completely taken off of every single platform. There would be some groveling apology from any of those higher ups. But no. We're totally allies with that community. Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be fantastic. Play stupid games, man. One marketing expert, told the Post, Brendan Whitworth, the CEO of the U.S. version of Anheuser-Busch, said that the mea culpa did a little to quell the controversy that good old Dylan Mulvaney and his slight shoulders brought upon the company. It's like, what did they think was going to happen? Whilst it was great, the CEO spoke out formally. Was it really? And formally apologized. He didn't, though, because we read through all of it. And if you want more on that, check Friday's video. Yeah, that would have been Friday's video. Thursday, maybe it was Thursday's video. Can't quite remember, but it did something specifically on it. It still will leave a sour taste in the Bud Light consumer's mouth, kind of like the beer itself. Why did you do this? Said JJ. Okay, founder of the Ace of Spades branding agency. Apologizing only works when it cleans up the reason why. And this is still unknown, and it paints a bigger picture. What was the true reason behind this? Well, you can go take a look at the ideology of the marketing VP for Bud Light specifically, Alyssa Gordon Hershide, whatever. She's a dyed-in-the-wall feminist. We need to move away from the fratty persona that Bud Light has. Oh, okay, cool. So you just need to adopt another consumer base, because your loyal consumer base wasn't good enough for you. Oh, right, because women control 80% of consumer decisions. So if you think that if you just bypass all of the frat boys, the women are just going to buy all the stuff. No, they got seltzer, and women don't like beer like that. So why are you doing that? It makes zero sense, but they're trying to follow the money. Except for when you do that, when you try to appeal to everybody, you end up appealing to nobody. So going forward, the company had previously defended its decision to hire Mulvaney, an actress and influencer with more than 10 million views on TikTok. Anheuser-Busch works with hundreds of influencers across their brands, has one of the many ways to authentically connect with audiences of various demographics. So, Bud Light's just going to pretend like this shit ain't happening. And if they continue to do that, well, there's many other, in their words right there, influencers and people that authentically connect with audiences that will continue to poke at you and laugh at you for your terrible decisions. But it's not the end. Not the end when it comes to advertising. Well, Bud Light, and haven't heard anything from them recently, but there are other brands under the Anheuser-Busch umbrella, of course. And they go from one high-profile individual to promote their brand to bringing in Sarah Jessica Parker. Very nice that she finally made... Oh, no, I'm sorry. They released a brand new patriotic ad after Bud Light Mulvaney campaign. Remember, guys, this is Bud Heavy. This is a full-fat Budweiser, and it's totally different than Bud Light, right? Yeah, but you don't even need to worry about it. We're truly America's beer. It's like, bro, come on now. We all know what you're doing right here. The horse has already bolted. Budweiser is slammed for Back to Basics patriotic Clydesdale ad released 2 weeks after Bud Light's debacle, following the CEO's, "Oh, I thought he addressed it and I thought he apologized." Nope. Budweiser has released a new patriotic ad featuring its iconic Clydesdales, which had to be pulled from events because of danger concerns. Just 2 weeks after Mulvaney's Bud Light deal sparked a huge backlash. I can't believe it's only been 2 weeks, but here we are. Oh, but the public is not biting the bit. Yes, but they're champing to see what you guys are going to be doing for the aftermath. That shit's gonna be funny. The 1-minute spot was released on social media Friday and features shots of the iconic Clydesdales galloping across the country in open fields, past landmarks including the Lincoln Memorial, the New York City skyline, and the Castro district of San Francisco. Who gives a shit, bro? A deep-voiced narrator says the Budweiser story is bigger than beer, and the horses race across the screen. Fantastic. This is the story of the American spirit. The ad for the beer that, like Bud Light, is owned by Anheuser-Busch. You don't say Budweiser and Bud Light are under the same umbrella? Color me surprised. Was a pivot back to basics for the brand that has historically tended to appeal to blue-collar American workers. Exactly, so why are you putting a tranny front and center? Shit makes zero fucking sense. You're trying to ride a wave, and hey, instead of washing up on the shore, you crashed into the rocks. Sucks to suck, I guess, but then, of course, hey, if you guys are going to play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, therefore you create a space in the market. Enter ultra-right? Yeah, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, a non-woke beer. You guys did this. You did this, and there have been other more traditional beer brands that are out there. I've seen Yingling, I think I'm pronouncing that right, and play up their heritage in the United States, the actual oldest brewery in the United States. Just have like an American flag in the background, somebody holding a can of Yingling beer, and it's like, okay, cool, wonderful, fantastic. You guys are trying to do what's best, but when Budweiser, probably the quintessential name in just basic bitch beer, decides to pull a hard left turn, well, you just open up a market that's going to be right there of a bunch of people that are socially aware of shit that's going on, but then at the same time also don't want to have politicized drink choices, which, again, I can't believe we're here, but it was really only a matter of time. Conservative activist launches ultra-right beer as a rival to Bud Light after Dylan Mulvaney controversy. The new beverage is currently available in 42 states. That's fucking impressive, and is marketed as 100% woke-free American beer. You would have to think, with that type of distribution, this has been in the works for a while. Like, somebody already knew that this was going to be needed and something that was going to be desirable. And now, thanks to Bud just tripping over its own trans dick, it's created this unforeseen marketing opportunity. Shout out to this guy. Bud Light's recent partnership with transgender activist Dylan Mulvaney has driven one Republican to launch his own beer. And again, I think based on the distribution that's already in place, because that's just not easy to come by, especially in 42 states. Like if it was in his local area, like, come on. But no, it's out there. He's been there for a minute. Okay, his own beer that's specifically marketed to conservatives, which is, last time I checked, half of the fucking country. The beer, dubbed the Conservative Dad's Ultra Right, is currently being sold online, and the response has been nuts. Funny, that was also what Bud Light says about Dylan Mulvaney. That guy's got nuts. According to the man behind the mission to defeat woke corporations. Again, hey, what can you do in a scenario such as this if you see something that is woke and something that has been taken over. And you can criticize it, you can critique it, and you can mock it. But then at the same time, if you're not doing anything about it, if you're actually invested in that endeavor, you're just as useless as the people who say, well, it's not a big deal, bro. Speaking to Fox News Digital about his efforts, Seth Weathers, the CEO of Freedom Speaks Up, says companies like Anheuser-Busch are spitting on conservative values. Yeah, no, definitely. I have kids, and I don't care what their response is. Bud Light has hired a mentally deranged freak to market perversion to little children. Oh, yeah, no. I would say that for anybody who's, well, actually, I've never, that's weird. I haven't considered that. Like, Mulvaney's biggest market is all on TikTok. Who uses TikTok? Well, kids, of course. So yes, getting a beer sponsorship, you're marketing it towards kids. Like, okay, so on top of transgender ideology, you're also marketing a gateway to alcoholism to kids. Yeah, it's just fucked up. I never thought about that before, but that totally makes sense. Okay, so I have a problem with that. Well, I have a problem with beer in general. I think that this shit is totally haram, but again, my values don't reflect reality with the fact that people are still going to drink. I'm sure a lot of people have drank over this weekend. That's totally fine. That's not my life choice. That's just, again, fucking reality. They're spitting on us. We are half of America. Oh, I'm sorry. Corporations that do this should be put out of business by conservatives. Yeah, exactly. If you have a superior product and you're going to go ahead and cater to the base and you're going to cater to the people who actually want to consume your product, well, hey, man, the best revenge is success. So go for it. We are half of America. They're spitting on us. There has to be an alternative, and he is creating one. Shout out to him. I guess it's a basic looking can. It's a good look. I don't mind it. It's not bad. Weathers said he understands the difficulty in boycotting all the woke corporations. It's like I've said before, man, you've got to pick your battles when you come to this stuff. Like, I've been conservative for as long as I can remember. And if I didn't listen, I didn't consume, I didn't watch anything from anybody that I didn't agree with politically, I'd be living a very, very vacant life. But whenever there's an alternative that I like of the stuff that I do, oh, definitely I'll support it. But as long as it doesn't get too egregious, that's the tipping point. At least for me. But this was a betrayal of your entire consumer base. It makes no fucking sense why anybody with half a brain would just turn the other cheek on this. They know who consumes their beer. They can run the analytics. They know down to the can where everything's going. What are the demographics in that area? Who is purchasing what? They betrayed that. They absolutely betrayed that by trying to do a sharp pivot. Case in point, take a look at specifically what the VP said. Did a couple of videos on that last week at some point in time. We can't boycott 10 companies, but we can boycott the one that sells shit beer, he says. If we stuck to that, we would send a message that would live forever. I don't care if they buy my beer. Either buy my beer, some other brand's beer. It doesn't matter. Send a message to Anheuser-Busch. Shut them down. Totally fine with that, man. Because to me, that's not cancellation. That is just, okay, I don't have to support you. I can support people that don't push an agenda and offer an equal or superior product. These aren't leftist tactics. And I've heard, of course, you're always going to hear those fucking brainless that are out there saying, well, I hold the right with the good cancel culture. Nobody's calling for the cancellation. I'm sure that there probably are some, cretins that are out there. We need to cancel them. No. Just don't support them. Let them die in silence. Apathy is the alternative to love, not hatred. Because all of that shit, that's just still emotions at the end of the day. And if somebody can get you by the emotions, they have you hook, line, and sinker. So by simply just turning the other cheek, walking away, supporting people that don't hate you, that's the best thing that you can do, in my opinion. And a little bit of housekeeping. I forgot to do this at the beginning. We're pretty much done. If you don't want to hear my babble at the end, that's totally fine, man. But hey, I'd appreciate you if you wanted to turn out, because we actually got a fun stream that's going to be planned here and going to be going live. I got it scheduled for 6 o'clock Mountain Time, okay? It's going to be exclusively over on Rumble. I got a whole grab bag of topics that I want to discuss, as you can kind of tell by that thumbnail. What are we going to be discussing? Well, everything that's on there, from Flat Earth to Elon Musk and BBC, is not something I could have done like a full video on, but we'll watch. Actually, I got a kind of an interesting spin on that. We're going to watch a body language breakdown of that. As you can see, you got a couple of fairly attractive women on there as well. I seen an article when I was doing some research for some stuff that I'm going to be recording here today, and it's like, the fuck is actually going on with some of these idiots that are out there? And then, of course, an oldie but a goodie, we got some Wilt Chamberlain stuff, because, like I said, a grab bag of stuff, shit that I've been thinking about, and it's going to be fun, and exclusively on Rumble. So if you want to hop over there, 6 o'clock at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, so that would be, what would it be, 8 o'clock out east, 5 out west, 7 in the central, so adjust accordingly. And then if you're abroad, I don't fucking know time. But also too, earlier today, I was speaking with my my folks. They went to the city. They had some stuff to do, and then they came back, and I was talking with them. And my father made mention of the fact that he had been unsubscribed from my YouTube channel multiple times just from the start of this year. And I've made mention of this a couple of different times. It's like I wake up in the morning and I check my analytics of the YouTube channel, and I just notice it's like down 4 subscribers. The fuck? But then it rebounds by about midday, and I was like, this shit makes absolutely zero sense. Funny, but then when he says, and it's my parents, of course, I believe them intrinsically, regard whatever they're talking about. So if my father's been unsubscribed multiple times from my channel, just check, okay? Just check if you were subscribed. Just run it back, make sure everything is still all fine over there, because at the end of the day, views are kind of what matters when it comes to your favorite content creator. Subs are just at a certain point a vanity metric, but I just want to make that, I just want to make you guys aware of that. If anybody's, messing around or shit like that, if you've been watching somebody and it's been a minute since you've seen anything in your subscription feed, chances are you've probably been unsubscribed from a couple of other channels as well. So just pay attention to that stuff. But you know who doesn't unsubscribe you? Rumble. So got the channel over there, got the locals over there, and yeah, we're going to be going live, and we'll be saying all of the fun stuff, having a great time. Hope to see you there. And if not, I'll be back tomorrow with a whole bunch of other fun stuff. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.